Ali. We're in Chicago, and I wanted to shout out Al's Botanics and Herbs. Man, when I tell you, I am one of those people that has insomnia. I can't sleep. I can't focus on some days because I'm so sleep deprived, and this has helped. This is one of the mixtures he has that helps with sleep.
Come check out owlsherbs.com where we have all of your herbal needs and different variety of products from sea moss to black seed oil and a different variety of products for different health issues because your health is your wealth. Purchase the Millionaire Savings Plan available on Amazon.com and BrokeGeniuses.com. Learn how to break the paycheck to paycheck cycle, get out of debt, save more money, achieve your financial goals, and live a better life. What's going on? Today we're going to be talking about is winter over yet? It's February 18th, 2023. Winter is still in effect. There are some signs that spring is near, but definitely winter is still in the mix. I'm pretty much surrounded by snow as we speak in the Midwest. And pretty much there's a lot going on in the world. It's pretty much the same thing that was going on last year is still going on this year. Inflation, food costs are still high. Gas pretty much hasn't fluctuated. Still relatively, depending on where you are, it might be a little high. It's not necessarily dropped as far as price. Still kind of relatively high, I would say. Uh, Housing costs is still high. Price of a house is higher than it was, years ago. It's still relatively high. Car prices are still relatively high. I mean, it's still trying to. I think the market is still trying to prop itself up. The implosion is near, I believe. Housing prices are going to, I think, eventually drop, but they're still trying to, you know, kind of carry on the same price that was last year. It's still trying to, they're still trying to sell the same house, last year for a higher price. But from what, like I said before, what I noticed in different realtor listings that I saw, they're listing homes, kind of staying on the market, and they're basically dropping prices a little bit, but they're staying on the market as far as I can see. I don't necessarily see any significant, like, changes in that. But yeah, I mean, housing prices, cars, all of this, all of everything, your staple goods, still relatively high. It's not anything dropping as far as I can see. So there's people are still paying more for certain items than they were years ago. It's still the same thing. So I think that eventually prices will drop, but I don't know when. But I think this is still trying. This economy is still trying to be propped up. It's kind of like it's like somebody trying to still convince you to go with the status quo, but you know you're not going. It's like, you know, if you just buy this right now, it'll, pretty much, you know, give you the same thing that you had before. It's like they almost trying to beg you to buy the same overpriced goods, and that they're gonna, pretty much sell it for lower at a later date. They're still trying to put on a poker face to sell you the same overpriced goods, but you're not going, but they still trying to sell it to you. I remember, like, when I was in a flea market, flea market pretty much started at about 5 to 6 in the morning, and it ended at about 2 o'clock. And I had a booth. I had a booth at the flea market, and people would come to me. I noticed, and they would come early in the morning, and they would try to, give me some lowball price or whatever, ask me, or just ask me the price of what I was selling. It usually was like computers, electronics, stuff like that. And what I would notice is over the course of the day, at about like 1:30, 2 o'clock, they would come back to the booth as everybody is pretty much wrapping things up and, packaging everything up and going, back home. They would basically try to come and give me some lowball offer to sell me their lowball offer or whatever. I mean, have me sell them something that's like a really lowball offer. And I started to notice that, like, a lot. Like, they would do that almost every single day. Different people would use that strategy. And believe it or not, it was it was a pretty good strategy, because it's like, okay, if you going home, you already, going home with whatever you have that you didn't sell, and you want to sell it, you want to sell it at that price, but they come in at the last minute. They the only person that's offering you this low ball price. It's in many cases I did take a few of those offers. I know I did, but it's like I didn't necessarily want to, but in many cases I remember I kind of had to, because it was just like, man, this is the last sale. I'm going home. I want to go home with something. I might have had a bad day. And yeah, I mean, it's like, it's kind of how like that is right now, as far as it seems that people are just trying to sell you the same stuff that they know is hard to sell, but they don't want to sell it for a lower price. That's kind of how I see the economy now. Oh, but it's just how long that's gonna be. I guess as long as people are still, I guess, buying or whatever, or as long as that those companies and those businesses are able to sell those products. I mean, what I'm hearing as far as CarMax, and which is CarMax is like one of the largest used car markets in the United States. A lot of economists, they use CarMax as a gauge of the used car industry because they're just so big of a used car company, publicly traded, that they use them as a gauge of what the car market is, what the aftermarket car market is, because basically CarMax buys cars no matter what condition they are, they buy them. A lot of people trade in cars to CarMax. They take some cars and they repair them and resell them. What they don't what they don't repair, they basically sell to other car dealers at auctions. That's pretty much how CarMax pretty much does their business. And a lot of, like I said, economists, they follow the trends as far as car prices, and they use CarMax as a gauge of those prices and price trends. And what CarMax is doing is they're trying to sell cars and also buy cars, because they gotta give you something for your trade in. They gotta give you some type of, like, money for your trade in. They still have to also sell those cars to the car auctioneers, and still try to operate some type of profit within that business model. So CarMax is like basically gritting their teeth, trying to figure out a way to basically keep up with making a profit and selling these cars that they know are overpriced, and still make some type of sale and profit. And they are having a hard time doing it because basically interest rates are up higher. People are kind of getting skittish when it comes to buying these cars. And even the auction, the dealers at the auctions, they're not buying the cars that they used to buy at the car auctions because they're overpriced. So they're getting it at both ends. They're having a hard time selling cars to the consumer, and they're also having problems wholesaling the cars to other car businesses at their auctions. So it's a pretty good gauge as far as where things are. I saw some type of post, I think on YouTube, where they're saying that the value of eggs, or the price of eggs, a dozen of eggs costs more than basically meat or beef, because of the egg shortages and all of the supply chain issues with eggs. Now, here's the thing: I don't really eat eggs. Okay, right now I'm not even eating meat at all, so it's just not in my wheelhouse right now as far as things. Uh, so I'm not affected by eggs. But a lot of people do eat eggs. A lot of people eat breakfast. Thank God for you if you're able to eat breakfast. My life is so much in chaos and turmoil. Even when I was eating meat, I didn't really get no breakfast. Like, I didn't eat breakfast. It was rare. It was a rarity that I ate breakfast. A lot of the times when I did eat breakfast, it was like in my cafeteria at my job. Uh, and occasionally I would eat like McDonald's. I would eat like a steak and bagel uh, sandwich or something like that. But making breakfast, you could pretty much forget about it. Most of the times I'll be lucky if I can even make a smoothie. But yeah, a lot of people eat eggs. I mean, eggs are a staple dish, usually associated with breakfast. Also associated with like if you eat anything Chinese food wise, like beef fried rice, chicken fried rice, uh, you know, um, shrimp fried rice, it has eggs in it, you know. So it's really a big deal, but I don't know what how long that's gonna be the case. I at one time I was thinking about it's really nothing that I couldn't do as far as to personally address that issue. Let's say I was an egg lover. Like I just love eggs. I just every day I'd eat breakfast, every day I'd be like eating breakfast at dinner. Like some people like McDonald's made a lot of money by offering breakfast at any time of the day, because people actually, were complaining about breakfast times, and they, love McDonald's breakfast so much. They, order breakfast menu items after the actual designated time for breakfast. So the thing is that let's just say I really, really loved eggs, and I also really, really love chicken. I mean, I dig chicken. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and you can be racial and say, oh, this Negro loves his chickens. You know, thing about it is when it comes to chickens, I mean, black people, African people, or Asiatic blacks, or whatever you want to call us. I mean, we were the first to domesticate the modern day chicken. So of course we like chicken. We were the first to fucking domesticate them. We taught others, other cultures and how to, pretty much we traded with them. We traded some eggs and they grew some chickens, and next thing you know, the whole world has, chickens. I mean, we were the first to do it. So of course when I was eating meat, which is not too long ago, I was fucking some chicken up. I was actually thinking about uh what's going on, Alonzo. I'm so busy talking, I forgot to acknowledge you. But basically, I forgot to yeah. But I was thinking about actually raising some chickens, because there's absolutely nothing stopping me from actually raising chickens. Because one thing about Indiana, uh Indiana is a little different than Illinois. It's a more Indiana is more country, I would say, than Illinois is. It's more underdeveloped. So, Illinois primarily is suburban from Chicago, which is Cook County, which stretches out to as far south as, like, I would say University Park, which is like about 30 odd miles away from Chicago, all the way going up north towards almost close to Wisconsin, way west, which is like how far west you want to go. I would say what would that be? It goes about, I would say, 30 miles west as well. Okay, then you go into other counties and shit like that, which is still which is still considered the suburbs of Chicago or whatever, but it starts to go into the country. Well, Indiana is different. Okay, Northwest Indiana is different. Where okay, you go into Indiana, if you go farther than 10 miles south of Northwest Indiana, you start going in the country. Like, I mean, I'm talking about soybean fields, corn fields. I mean, it's just miles and miles of remote farmland and shit like that. Motherfuckers is just goddamn it listen to John Cooper Mellencamp and goddamn it, you know what I'm saying, playing in fucking fields and shit. You start seeing crop dusters and all kind of stuff in the summertime or whatever. And it's like, growing some chickens is nothing. I can literally do it tomorrow if I wanted to. And I was actually like, I ain't gonna lie, like this whole egg phenomenon was kind of like having me kind of think about it. And I'm not gonna lie, like also I remember going into KFC not too long ago, and I noticed that like 12 pieces of chicken was like damn near almost $50. Like 12 pieces of chicken. Like, I mean, 50 fucking dollars for 12 pieces of chicken, like a 12-piece chicken meal. 50 fucking dollars. So I was like, damn, this shit is crazy. This shit is wild. This shit is fucking wild, man. 12 pieces of fucking, KFC chicken, which, is a conspiracy theory about that shit, right? Supposedly they had like made the chickens genetically modified with no beaks, so it's easier to process them and shit. Like, I don't know, allegedly. And it's like, yeah, fucking 12 pieces of crappy ass modified space chicken, because that shit got preservatives and shit all in it and stuff too. I call the food that like it's like you basically you have it sit out and it doesn't mold and shit because it's got so much preservatives and shit on it. Call it space food. Like McDonald's and shit. I don't fuck with McDonald's. And if I ate meat tomorrow, I would not be fucking with no goddamn McDonald's. None of that shit. Because it's all space food. Okay? I mean, it literally has so much preservatives on it that the food doesn't even, you sit it out and it doesn't even grow mold. They've little kids done science projects on this shit, in grammar school and stuff. It literally has so much freaking preservatives it doesn't freaking grow mold. It looks like it's edible after about 6 months, and that's why I call it space food. Because typically, I mean, like theoretically, like if it's so preserved, you can be out lost in space and eat the shit, like because it still looks edible somewhat. But anyway, I actually was thinking about growing chickens. Okay, I was pricing it out. One thing about me, if you don't notice from my channel, I'm not your typical channel where right now, yeah, I'm just yapping and yappity yapping, but I actually do shit. I actually I have how-to videos. I show you, what you should buy. I got little videos on um, you should basically get a a car. I'm having brain farts here. The videos I do is basically like different videos on like how-to videos. I mean, I basically show you like different reviews on hardware tools because primarily like I'm a polymath. Okay, I know how to do a lot of different shit. I'm interested in a lot of different shit, and I'm actually very very good at it. Like I'm pretty much okay. I'll just point out the different startups that I have right now. So one of one of my startups, I'll actually just show you the shit. This is the book I wrote. This is my first book and only book. But I'll actually just show you and this is just not all I know how to do, but I got my hands in like a lot of different arenas and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm multi-talented, and yeah, one of the things I know how to do is I'm a handyman. Basically, Some of the stuff I do around my house, I do it myself. Uh, let's see here. And basically, I know how to hammer a nail. I know how to screw a screw. Uh, I know how to do certain things when it comes to different houses. So this is my website of all of the different startups all of the seed projects that I'm working on. I'm on Crunchbase. I have not took any funding yet. I'm kind of looking for funding eventually. So this is one of my gems right here. This is one of my seed projects, one of my babies here. This website is totally safe. Let's see here. I might have to do. One of the things about websites, like I know how to make websites as well. One of the things about websites and stuff is that you have to check on your websites and stuff. I think I know what this is. I put the HTTPS. It's not HTTPS. It's just regular HTTP. So it's still going. So yeah, I mean, I know how to change electrical socket. This is actually my grandmother's electrical socket right here. This fucker is from the 1940s and 50s. This son of a gun right here. Like it literally when my grandparents bought their house, this was installed in the house before they even got the house. And I put a 3-prong because my poor little grandma, she was using an adapter for years, for decades. And she didn't want me to really do nothing. So when they left one day, I put the little 3-prong socket outlet in there, and just took care of it. This was in the basement. This sucker is about as old, if not older, as this one. Is still it's my grandmother's house or whatever. So I changed the outlet. It's like stuff like this, like handyman work that I know how to do. I mean, I'm not just a fucking yapper that's talking about women all day, or I talk about women too and shit, but the societal collapse of the United States of America's um interracial or uh, dating and mating in America, the issues associated with that. Yeah, I talk about that. So yeah, but I also do shit, like change my grandparents' doorbell and put a light on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's little talented shit that I know how to do like that. Like this is my house. This is like a 1980, 1970 gas shut off valve. I changed that and put more modern gas shut off valve, and this is for the stove. So yeah, I'm a bona fide handyman. Like pretty much, this is the services that I know how to do, and I also know how to. By actual my job right now, I work in IT, but and I make websites. I made this website here, and all of the websites that I'm showing you, I made. Um, yeah, I know how to install home automation devices. These are like different services that I do, but when it comes to like handyman services and stuff, like this is all the shit I bona fide know how to do. Okay, drywall installation, fixtures, like if you need a ceiling fan, a light fixture, smart home device, painting, power washing, windows installation, concrete repair, door installation. Some of the stuff I'm not necessarily saying I'm a pro at it. I do know a lot of different tradesmen. I would just basically partner with them to basically work on a project if I'm like not really good at certain things. But like some of these things I'm very, very good at. Okay. I wouldn't need any help. Like I could do mold remediation, gutter cleaning, you know, plumbing repair depending on what's going on. You know, so I mean this is just one of my seed projects, you know what I'm saying, that I'm working on. Yeah, sorry about that. I lost connection, but yeah, I was just showing the different websites that I have and stuff, you know, just to show, you know, like when I said basically I'm a polymath. I mean, you know, I this is my computer business. This is like what I do, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as primarily what I do. Um so you know, these are all little seed projects that I have, you know, that I'm working on. I mean, of course, my herb business, I've talked about that, you know. So a lot of times when I be hearing people talking about certain things, when I be hearing people talking about like health issues and shit like that, um actually my most profitable business is my herbs business. And I just be like, I really, you know, I don't try to sell every time, you know, but I be listening to people having health issues and shit, and I be like, dude, I actually sell herbs. I talk about it a lot on my channel. I still have the videos up. Like I'm pretty much a herbalist. Okay. Like I be also people be having problems with sleep. Guess what? I'm very good at helping people with sleep issues. You know, that's one of my expertise as well. You know why I'm help good at helping people with sleep issues? Because I've had sleep issues for fucking decades. Like literally, I'm very, very good at helping people with sleep problems. So yeah, I sell herbs. That's actually what you're looking at. As far as wait, hold on. Let me change the screen here. Like this is my most profitable startup. Like literally, like Al's Herbs is my most profitable startup. You know what I'm saying? So, well, like I said, when I hear people talking about all the health issues, I'll be like, dude, you obviously not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, you're not paying attention. You know, you know, pretty much I sell herbs. I even offer a free ebook that, you know, pretty much lists natural cures for your different ailments. And it's on my website. You just basically, it's for free. You just put your name, your email, and you know, basically you get a free ebook like with natural cures. You know, and it's like, okay, you know, people, I know people have their own hangups. You know, people, I understand the popularity contest. I did a video before Kevin Samuels died. about the popularity contest, and popularity contests are kind of hierarchical. People put it, everybody's in some type of hierarchy, and it's a popularity contest. I understand. I'm not the king of the popularity contest per se, but when I hear you talking about you got health issues and shit, and I said and I fucks with you, and you don't you know what I'm saying, you don't really pay attention or whatever reason, I just be thinking either you dumb, slow, or just want to be sick, because I sell herbs. That's what I talk about on my site. And another one of my seed projects that is kind of dormant is that yeah, I'm in real estate. I pretty much I am wholesaling real estate at this time. I'm looking for people to basically, you got a house that's just sitting vacant, you need it sold. Well, I can help you with that. No matter where you are in the country, I can help you sell your house. I could put things together. This is also, like I said, one of my seed projects, national home real estate, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, these are my seed projects or whatever. I just wanted to show, I mean, yeah, I talk and I yap, but I'm talking about the Millionaire Savings Plan definitely today as well. I'm trying to, get you to understand that, it's pretty much it's a way for me to, kind of help me help you, if you understand what I'm saying. So um yeah, I like I said, going back to the chickens, I was thinking about growing some chickens or whatever. It was a thought. The whole prices of chicken, egg thing kind of had me thinking about it a little bit, but it goes a lot, like when it comes to eggs and shit, it's it's a lot to it. It's not like, oh, you just go get some eggs and you just grow some chickens. It's a little more involved than that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot to that when it comes to raising chickens and stuff like that. I just really wasn't into it to actually convince myself to do it. I mean, obviously, but it was kind of like a thought when I when I seen the prices, and the prices are still high, for poultry and of course eggs. And where it relates to the topic as far as things is concerned, after I'm like 30 some minutes into this thing, the question is winter over? Okay. Is winter over? And winter is in regards to the late Kevin Samuels, regarding it's really really hard out here if you're single. I'll just say, for both men and women, it is very very difficult um if you are single out here, basically trying to make it on your own. It is very very difficult. I talked about grade B neighborhoods. I still got to finish out and do grade A neighborhoods. Well, when it comes to that, you know, grade B neighborhoods primarily are upper middle class. Upper middle class, they are married primarily, predominantly, even African Americans. Upper middle class African Americans tend to be the highest married. You know, Alonzo Hall, if he's still there in the clouds or whatever, he's married. I mean, you could talk about his past or whatever, you know, he's married, and I mean, he's I'm hoping he's doing very relatively well and continue to do well. His future primarily is probably if not already, a grade B, grade A neighborhood, coupled up, married up, and basically living a good life. You know what I'm saying? And if you're single out here struggling, winter is here. You know what I'm saying? And it's hitting you hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, I remember even when I had a girlfriend like a long time ago, like, you know, I had a girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, and she was from Ohio. And I remember when I was, pretty much with her and shit, man, I was like living with her and stuff. And I remember, man, the winter was a lot easier when I was with her versus, you know, just being like, not in a relationship and shit like that. Like, one of the things that I'll say, and most men are consensus when it comes to this, we understand we need women. If we can't get women in the United States to whatever, because whatever reason they're married or whatever, they're not around or whatever the case may be, we getting a plane ticket, we getting, you know what I'm saying, we going wherever we can get a woman, you know what I'm saying. I don't care if it's temporary, you know, whatever the case may be, we going. I mean, I got family members, man, that are what you would call passport bros. I mean, I myself at one time was trying to be a passport bro, but I had problems with my passport, and it wasn't no like criminal related or anything like that. But the thing is that when it comes to winter, you best believe it is definitely more of a struggle being by yourself than being with you're having someone else. It is definitely a struggle. And when it comes to that, it is almost like it's not even almost, it is a financial decision to get a viable partner to basically get some type of agreement to where you guys help each other out. I mean, I ain't gonna go all the way overboard, but it just helps, man. When you come home and get in the shower and you got somebody already there to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying, you know start giving you some cunnilingus, you know what I'm saying? While you had a rough day at at that time I was at my computer shop. I had an actual store. I mean, it just a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Um have some food ready for you, whatever the case may be. It's just a lot better than the opposite. You know what I'm saying? And the opposite of that is nothing. So um, I don't really hear that much, but it's like the whole independent thing. Like, I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't fucking stand Neo. I hate like any artist that, if it was a post that said, what artist do you really secretly or don't really talk about, but you hate this artist? I don't like Neo. And I don't like that song Miss Independent. Man, I think that song should be burned in the catalog. Like, I mean, they don't play it no more, but I think that song just should be freaking just, if it's any way that you can just take a music catalog and erase it from history. Like, I mean, I mean, that just sent so many women off. You know how many, women got sent off by that song? I mean, it's just so dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like that it's just so stupid. It just doesn't comprehend how stupid it is. Like, um, it just is. I mean, let's go into this. Let's break this down. So you're an independent woman. I would never tell my daughters, be independent. Hell no. I would never send them off to have them believe that, yeah, I can do it all by myself. And I should do it all by myself. I should be independent. That makes absolutely no sense. And I'm gonna show you how dangerous that is. I posted a while back on my community tab how dangerous that could be, trying to just think that independence is the way to go throughout life. And I know some women are really, really fucked up. I trust me. I understand. I done been involved and still dealing with to this day some fucked up ass women that have some deep, deep mental issues that are not addressed. Really, really intolerable. And if you know anything about what I talked about as far as like the different types of women when it comes to subprime and prime, I mean, the worst woman is an intolerable woman. Just intolerable. You know who's the poster child of an intolerable woman? I'm gonna show you real quick while I look for this stat here. Who's the poster child for the intolerable woman? Some of you already know. You've already read my mind. You've already understood the frequency. You already know who is the poster child of the most intolerable woman. But in case you didn't, I'm gonna show you a video of who's the poster child of an intolerable woman. Okay, after I show this here. So this is one of the reasons why I would never, absolutely never tell my daughters, that you should be independent and single, and you should strive for that. This is an article on the Washington Post. It says overall, another U.S. Department of Justice study found that never married women are nearly 4 times more likely to be victims of violent crime compared to married women. Why that is? If I'm a super, criminal or whatever, or super rapist or super uh killer, whatever the case may be, serial killer, guess who I'm looking for? And guess in any criminologist knows this. Men typically look for women that are by themselves. Women know this as well. They're not dumb. They know this. And a lot of women, are getting firearms, which I wholeheartedly agree with that. That's just common sense. Duh. You know what I'm saying? Like, duh. But a lot of women are, I mean, because here's the thing that I mentioned, like, my ex-wife, she was, talking to me, and she was like, she wished she knew how to work use power tools and stuff, and know how to cut wood and stuff. And I, um and I told her, I said, pretty much, men and women are taught gender roles. I mean, most women ain't taught no taught wood shop and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Women are typically taught, home economics and stuff, or I think they call it home economics, whereas you wash clothes, iron, fold laundry. We just taught different gender roles, and we expected to do certain things. Women were not typically, and even now are not taught to cut wood and fucking use power tools. Just not what was taught. Now, I mean, women are using power tools, buying power tools. I mean, come on. I've even seen, pink power tools, because women are, buying power tools. But the thing is that it's still gender roles. And one of the thing about it is that um guns are part of, I look at guns as tools as well. A gun is a tool, and women are typically not taught to use tools. I mean, I'm just saying, so the thing is that when it comes to just in general, um women by themselves are always targeted. This ain't the first time I talked about this. Women are targeted every day, because when they're being by themselves, which, let's just face it, unfortunately, black women are the most by themselves in America, right? And I mean, basically, all of these different crimes is because they're fucking by themselves, and married couples or married men or married women are with their husband, right? Husband's there. The particular perpetrator looks for another victim. They see the husband, they go the other way. Simply as said, it could just be the very mere presence. It ain't like they looking, okay, they just see the dude, and then, you know what I'm saying, they just go the other way. They look for somebody else that is not, um, with a man, and it's like pretty much that's the whole thing. Like that, just in itself, to be by yourself is like almost suicidal. That's literally the most like harsh extreme that I can come up with. Because the thing is that women in other countries already know this. They already have this reality. A lot of women in other countries, they don't go out past a certain time. They really don't go out by themselves, even in the daytime, because they need more of the protection of men. And the thing about it is, it's all it even if a woman had a gun, I am a trained you know uh, jujitsu practitioner. Let's say a woman had the gun in her, a man or a woman have a gun, they have to reach for it. Like I said, I trained jujitsu for at least 3 years. Even before I trained jujitsu, I was learning different martial arts, and I was learning how to do certain things. You have to grab the gun first. You around someone that is a trained jujitsu practitioner, knows how to parry, knows how to block at rapid speeds. You ain't grabbing that gun around me. Ain't nobody grabbing no gun around me. I'm not gonna let you grab no gun. I'm too fast. I don't even train, and it's like it's just instinctual at this point. I'm not gonna grab no gun. I'm gonna I'm gonna parry that arm so quick and blast it with like so much speed and torque. You ain't grabbing that gun, and then I'm going with an uppercut or elbow to the temple or whatever I do, and that's it. Because by proxy of me being a man, and also you got people. Let me tell you something. I'm about 6'3", 280, 290 pounds. I don't know. I haven't been on the scale in a minute. I know jujitsu, right? I was a wrestling champion pretty much in high school. I all I had to do was just go to state and I would have got a medal, but I quit my sophomore year and I was good. I was very, very good. And I mean I did boxing a little bit. Like I'm a walking weapon. I mean literally, I'm a walking weapon and I'm not even that bad. It's like I don't know if you ever watched the series. I don't know if Spartacus is still on Netflix or whatever where you could watch Spartacus, but Spartacus was a very, very good show. It was one of the best. It was actually how I got hooked on Netflix. The very first way, I mean, how I got hooked, like not hooked on Netflix, but like saw that Netflix was the shit. Like literally, like I was like in the break room. I was working at Tiger Direct. It was like 2015. Uh and I was watching Spartacus in my lunch break. And I was like, wow, this shit is amazing. And then I would go home and watch the shit. And one of the things about Spartacus and wrestling and whatnot, right, is that I mean, well, you know, it's like pretty much the gladiators, right? One of the like lowest skill gladiators. If you watch the series, I'm kind of giving it away, but I ain't really giving that much away. Or if you haven't watched it, one of the lowest skill gladiators that he was like the antagonist in the series, he was kicking the fucking Roman army's ass. And he said, because they was going up against Spartacus crew and shit. They was actually at war with the ex gladiators that escaped because they were gladiators, but they were also slaves. Okay, and basically he was like, "You going against me, and I'm kicking your ass." And I was the lowest skilled gladiator in the whole, gladiator crew or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not even that highly skilled. I mean, and you got other people that are walking around and you have absolutely no idea what they know how to do. Like one of the nameless protagonists, right? You would think like, okay, the way he sounds kind of like a nerd. He sounds like a soft nerd. There's no rag against him. But he been studying jujitsu since he was a kid. He's black belt and everything. And you think that your fucking gun is safe around somebody that's been studying jujitsu for fucking since they was a kid, and they pull it, you gonna pull your gun out? You would have to be away, like all the way, like fucking at least 10 feet away. If you're up close and you're trying to grab a gun up close as a woman, I mean, your life literally, if and women love this, women know this actually. They like that's why they like bad boys, because not all of them, but they like tough men because it turns them on, because um they it's something about it that they like being around danger. And they also of course want protection. But the thing is that it's it's men that they don't need, by them proxy of being men, they are a fucking weapon. The average man is stronger than most women. The majority of a women of like a weak guy is stronger than most women. Okay, not necessarily a weak guy is gonna do something to women, but the thing is that when you come around guys that are very like have super strength and no martial arts, high level martial artists, highly trained martial artists. You're around killers. Basically, you around a fucking killer. Like you could be like surrounded, like when you know what I'm saying, like you could be surrounded by killers and you absolutely can't do anything. And then, like I said, if you pull out a gun, it's only good if you got it in your hand already. I mean, you got to pull for it. Even if, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, even if somebody pulled a gun out, if they gotta pull the gun out and point it, it ain't safe. It ain't safe around me. One of the things when we did lessons on how to fucking basically the same way that you defend yourself from a knife, a little different, but it's the same. It's the same type of way you defend yourself from somebody trying to pull out a gun. You know, and those lessons I took very serious, and I got very very good at it. One of my coworker, like one of the people that I used to like help work in my shop, I used to have him pretend like he was pulling out a gun, and I never forget his face when he saw how quick I was able to parry his arm away to basically stop his force of motion or pointing the gun at me or imaginary gun. His I mean, you could see the whites of his eyes because he was like, damn. Because even if he had a gun, he couldn't have used it. And he was a shooter at one time. I mean he, you know what I'm saying? This was back when I was like really religious. I was going to the mass year that I was, practicing Muslim. I mean, he was as well. A lot of guys that were like ex felons, you could even say super felons, they turned to Islam for some type of redemption in their life, and a lot of them did change. A lot of them, changed for the better, and straight went the straight path and kept that straight path. But some struggled, But yeah, he was a prize. So the thing is that all I want to say is that it is best that you choose wisely. Even here's the thing: when it comes to my daughters, I want them to know how to play chess and play chess well. Because when you play chess, when you understand chess, you understand that you need those other people around you. And you definitely need your king, right? You need your man, right? One of the shirts that I have to make, right? On my website, I got different t-shirts, brokegeniuses.com. It says the game doesn't exist without the king. Well, when it comes to the queen, the game does not exist without the king. You're not The game could keep on going for the queen. She gets captured, the game can continue. The game don't even start without the king. Okay? And that's pretty much what I'm going to instill in my daughters, God willing. That the game is nothing. You're nothing, absolutely nothing, hardly at all, without your man. Not any man, but your man, the one that you chose, that is of good character, that is, basically like just the same thing as a woman, as I talk about with prime and subprime, or that's prime men. That's prime, subprime men as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm gonna instill into them. But a lot of you women don't, you didn't get that lesson, unfortunately. And yeah, it's almost pretty much like this stat here is very, very truthful. It is very much a fact. This is from the Washington Post, and it's from the Department of Justice. They have the stats, and yeah, 4 times more likely to be a victim of violent crime being a single, independent, Miss Independent. Yeah, yes, I love her. Yeah, that shit. So, that's the thing that I'm trying to say is that, don't fall for the okie doke, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, don't do it, and like I said, when it comes to, basically the whole thing about, being single and winter is coming. Another thing is that, like I said, when it comes to paying for, the cost of living and everything like that, I mean, you absolutely need a partner and helpmate to pay for these bills. It is very, very difficult to be on your own, trying to survive, trying to thrive. It is almost impossible. So this is what I'm going to leave you with. That's all I just wanted to just say. I was just compelled to talk a little bit. So I'll leave you with that.
Okay, Allie, show me your ring.
Oh, here.
Now, tell me what you do for a living.
Oh, I love my husband.
And how did you get that awesome job?
Well, I became a better human being, and I became feminine and also shocking, submissive. So that was the secret.
So what are your tips to women that want to be a housewife?
To embrace it. It's an actual job. You just can't get it in the public or private sector. Like, you need a man to hire you for it, but that's okay. Because if you think about it, you submit to your boss who makes you clean stupid shelves at your retail job, right? Like, wouldn't it be better if you were cleaning your own shelves at home? You know what I mean? And your boss wants to sleep with you in a good way. In a good way.
And where do you meet these men?
Well, I think women should work for the men that they want to pursue. I know that sounds crazy, but it's really easy. So if you think about it, like, you want a lawyer, right? So then you should be a paralegal, or if you want a dentist, then you should be a dental hygienist. But these are considered, I guess, high value status professions. But I think that's a really good model that not enough women utilize, because women will bully the woman who is the secretary that married the doctor, okay? But who has the last laugh? Like, her in her McMansion with her husband who's hot and the babies. Like, that's who has the last laugh. So,
Allie, how do you feel about the women that are saying this is heartbreakingly sad?
I mean, I don't know. I get my back blown out regularly. I am fully paid for survival. I have my own autonomy. I also do my own work. So, like, I just don't see what's wrong with my situation, but they can ask themselves why they're single if they want.